I think I can start now because we have only half an hour for the webinar. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Unlocking the Value of EDI in Healthcare. So early this year, we started a discussion with our partner, GS1 Australia, about which industry to focus on for this EDI webinar. So after comparing the several industries like grocery, hardware, and apparel, we agreed that healthcare industry would get most benefit from more information and practical insights about EDI. Thanks very much to our customer, Achana, IT manager at Cook Medical, and to our partners from GS1 Australia, Katrina, Michelle, and Margot, for helping making this session happen today. My name is Marina from EDI, and I will get you through how EDI is supporting efficiency and accuracy in the healthcare industry over the next half an hour. Here is a quick look at what we will cover today. First, we will look at what is EDI, the key benefits of the EDI, and how EDI works for healthcare organizations. After that, we will hear from Achana, who will share their real-world experience using EDI, and the value is brought to Cook Medical operations. Then, our partner GS1 Australia Healthcare team will share their expert insights on EDI, including healthcare industry standards, challenges, and the road ahead. Lastly, we will wrap up with a Q&A session. So please feel free to drop your question in the Q&A panel, which is on the top of your screen. And we will answer them. We will answer them at the end. So what is EDI? EDI stands for Electronic Data Interchange, and it's a way for organizations to exchange basic documents like purchase orders, invoices, and shipping notes, so insecurely and automatically between their systems. Instead of rekeying the data or sending emails, PDFs, EDI allows healthcare providers and suppliers to connect directly, even if they use different systems. The result, few errors, fast processing, and better visibility across the supply chain. Why does EDI matter? And what are the key benefits? So EDI is not just about technology, it's about outcomes. First, cost savings, which is most interesting for all our business. EDI removes manual process like paper handling, manual data entry, and duplication. That alone can reduce operational cost by around 21%. Speed. With automation, documents move instantly between their trading partners from healthcare providers to suppliers back in. What used to take days now can happen in minutes, reducing processing time by up to 58%. And finally, accuracy. Because data flows directly from one system to another, there's no retyping or copying. That eliminates over 83% of the manual errors in order and invoice exchanges. Ultimately, EDI helps improve patient safety by ensuring the right products reach hospitals and pharmacies on time. Here's an example of EDI document flow in practice. For instance, when a hospital places an order, EDI receives it, validates the data, and translates it into a agreed EDI format, and securely sends it to the healthcare supplier system for example, Quick Medical. In reverse, EDI EDI software will receive the order confirmations, shipping notice, and invoices from the healthcare supplier, automatically validating and translate them before sending them back to the hospital system. If a healthcare supplier works with a third-party logistic partner, which is a 3PL, EDI can also automate the pick request and the shipping notification, which is pick confirmation, between the 3PL and the supplier. Altogether, it forms a fully digital and automated information loop, fast, secure, and free from manual data entry. Let me give you a little quick background about us. At EDI, we have been providing EDI solutions since 1985. So that's nearly 40 years of helping businesses connect and trade electronically. In 2023, we became part of Constellation Software, one of the largest software companies in the world, listed publicly in Canada. So being part of this global family allows us to leverage international expertise and resources while we're still operating independently and delivering responsive local support to our Australian and New Zealand customers. We are proud to have received awards for outstanding customer services and to be a trusted, accredited partner with many leading ERP vendors and retailers across Australia and New Zealand. Over the past 2 years, we also partner with GS1 Australia, providing secure and scalable EDI solutions to the GS1 community. So our mission is simple: to help business, including healthcare organizations, streamline operations, improve accuracy, and stay compliant. Now, let's look at a real-world example, Cook Medical. So Cook Medical is a leading global manufacturer of medical devices, and they are one of the early adopters of EDI in healthcare sector. Our partnership with Cook Medical began around 2011, I think right around the time China joined Cook Medical. Since then, we've been working together for more than 14 years, supporting Cook Medical in connecting with most of Australia health authorities, hospitals, and global distributors through a secure, automated EDI solutions. Over that time, Cook Medical has become a great example of how automation can simplify healthcare supply chains and improve order accuracy and efficiency. Thank you, Archana, for being here today. I have a few questions and would love to hear your insight. And I believe audience also would love to hear your opinion, feedback regarding EDI, the space. So the first question is, what motivated Cook Medical to adopt EDI?
Yeah, thanks, Marina. And first of all, I would like to thank you and EDIS Tech for providing opportunity to be part of the webinar. So to come to your question, so when I joined Cook Medical, I saw that not many medical device suppliers were using full EDI, even though it had great potential to improve order accuracy and supply chain efficiency. Our customers, hospitals, healthcare authorities, they had already started adapting to electronic ordering, and they expected us, the same level of service as well. So the motivation for us was really clear. We also wanted to, eliminate manual order entry. We wanted to reduce errors and streamline the entire process. And we also understood that, it would bring in a lot of operational efficiency for our team. Hence, we started, by publishing all our product data in National Product Catalog. So this would help, hospitals to order directly from their ERP systems with about 100% accuracy in the data. So this was mainly the foundation of our EDI journey. And from then on, we have grown a lot, and we have implemented EDI in Japan and Australia. We have about 30 plus customers in Japan and about 100 hospital branches in Australia.
Beautiful. What an amazing journey. And how did I believe you covered a little bit, so we can elaborate a little more. So how did EDI improve order accuracy and fulfillment?
Yeah, absolutely. So once EDI was implemented, with EDI Tech, the impact was really immediate.
Mm.
And customer purchase orders, it started reaching us in near real time. And each order automatically, triggered purchase order acknowledgements, and then dispatch notices, invoicing, everything was, without any manual intervention. So system has been really flexible in turning on and off these generation of these documents based on the hospital needs. And today about 80% of our EDI orders are like kind of
Great.
touchless. So customer service don't even, look at those orders. It directly goes to our warehouse for picking and shipping. So this has really helped customer service in dedicating their time for other valuable activities.
Beautiful. So I have a 20% to work on.
Yeah.
Good. Last one. What advice would you give healthcare organizations and our audience when they consider EDI, since Cook Medical has been doing EDI for the last 14 years?
Absolutely. Yeah. So EDI is definitely the way to go. It takes away, human error. It is secure, efficient, and it also, improves operational efficiency. So my advice would be to start with the data accuracy, alignment, and, make sure your product data and trading information are consistent. So once, we have this automation, uh, it is really seamless. And I think once the company sees this automation and accuracy that EDI delivers, I don't think they would ever want to go back to manual processes.
Yeah. Once they're in, they have to go back to the manual process. I've
Yeah.
been heard a lot from our customers. Thank you very
Mhm.
much, Achana. Is there anything else you want to add on before I hand over to Michelle?
I think I'm good for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, Cook Medical's EDI journey is is a fantastic example of what EDI can achieve in practice. So, to understand the bigger picture, the regulations, standards, and data frameworks that make this possible, let's now hear from Michelle at GS1 Australia. And Michelle has been part of the healthcare industry for decades. So I always enjoy hearing his valuable insights about EDI and data standards in the healthcare sector. So Michelle, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much for inviting us to your webinar. Yeah, there's quite a few things that will be happening in the short run or in the near future. We've got some changes in our regulation that are happening as from next year. So there's a new regulation called Unique Device Identification, which will come into effect next year. And that essentially means that manufacturers and suppliers are required to have their products identifiable, meaning having products with a unique identifier barcode on the products, and also providing a lot serial batch number information on the product, as well as loading that into an Australian UDI database, which is managed by the TGA. What we've done over the last few years together with the TGA is to provide some support and some guidance around standards and standard use. GS1 is one of the 3 recognized issuing agencies for the TGA's UDI program. So we are one of 3 next to HIBIC and ICC BBA to provide UDI. And so in GS1 terms, that means that manufacturers and suppliers are using our GTINs, making sure that they are in a machine readable and a human readable format on the packaging. Now, The regulation that will come into effect next year is just about that. It's just about making sure that these products are identifiable, are scannable, and making sure that that is loaded in the UDI database. But we are also working together with the Commission for Safety and Quality in Healthcare, who recently started their program to update the clinical standards. And our advice to the Commission has been to include unique device identification into the clinical standards. If UDI is going to have any effect on patient safety, it would need to be incorporated into these clinical standards and hospitals to be compliant to UDI. And what that means is that it's going to change how we are managing our product flow, our supply chain in hospitals. We're going to be required to start tracking products from the moment they're received on the loading dock all the way to the patient's bedside, and not just the products itself, but also the product information, meaning lot number, batch number, and serial number, and so on. So if we look at where EDI is going to play an important role is the crucial link between the buying organization, the healthcare providers and jurisdictions that we are working together with, and the manufacturers and suppliers like Cook Medical in this case, and building that digital link between those organizations. Today, the only EDI, pretty much the only EDI documents that are being used are purchase order and invoice, and the business case so far has been on, invoice efficiency for EDI, but future requirements are going to change, and that will mean that manufacturers and suppliers will be required to provide shipment information, including lot number, serial number, batch number, and that sort of information on the shipment. So we would see certainly inclusion of purchase order responses, purchase order change processes, but also ASN and perhaps links to SSCC for that to be possible. Now, as I kind of was talking about before, what are the key motivators for delivering EDI is making sure that we have that we are speaking the same language. So making sure that health organizations refer to the products in the same way as manufacturers and suppliers recognize the products, but also how that is recognized throughout the whole supply chain. So we need to start talking the same language, and that is all already happening. There's already work that we are doing with most of the jurisdictions. We're looking at their master data sets, making sure that they're aligned. Obviously, we have the National Product Catalog as GS1, all the health jurisdictions, and a large number of Sorry, my phone is just going off at the moment. But what is going to be required as well is to make sure that buying organizations have good agreements with their suppliers around trading rules. And with that, I mean is when purchase orders are being sent, and we have a purchase order response and a purchase order change process in play. What does that mean between the buying organization and suppliers? So how do suppliers and buyers agree to what needs to be on the purchase order and on the purchase order response? So that is some work that we expect to happen once purchase order response, purchase order change, and also ASNs will come into play. But EDI, as the way we see it, EDI is going to play an absolute crucial role in that clinically integrated supply chain. There's a lot of conversations currently about digital health. There's a lot of conversations around ensuring that the right information is going to be on single digital patient records, in clinical systems and so on. But we still will need to be tracking the products through the supply chain for it to be loaded into these patient records. So we see that as an absolute crucial element, an absolutely crucial key to link supplier and product information through that clinically integrated supply chain all the way to the patient's bedside, and making sure that the right information ends up in the patient clinical records. And it will drive obviously, it will enable patient safety. It will create visibility of our whole supply chain, and it create through that efficiency. One of the key areas of issues that we see in healthcare, and certainly with healthcare providers, is not understanding what product arrives. There's issues with back orders, and obviously one of the things that we saw during COVID is not understanding exactly what product is at any given time. And so UDI will start changing that. UDI will start, or the need for UDI will start redesigning the whole end-to-end supply chain. And as I mentioned, EDI is going to be an absolute crucial part of that. So we are looking forward to work with EDI and looking forward to work with any of the healthcare providers and manufacturers and suppliers to enable that and deliver that. So I'll open up for any comments, any questions, if there's any. And hand over to you, Marina.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very glad to hear EDI going to play an important. Well, it is, but will be even play a more important role, especially new EDI messages, ASN, POC, POR you mentioned. Cook Medical is a really good example. As they already doing ASN, but more like with global trading partners. But looking forward to see more ASN rolling out and POR, POC, and also back orders that you mentioned in the Australia market as well. Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate it. Yes, our last session, Q&A. So we really appreciate all the questions that already came in during the registration. So it really shows there's a lot of interest in this topic. We will start by covering some of the most common questions that we received that you can see on the screen. And then we move on to any live questions that come through the Q&A panel, if there is. Also, if the time allows, we also can address a few more questions that's also submitted during the registration. The first one, how to structure the EDI setup and what are the key learnings from previous implementations? We would suggest start with accurate, aligned data and build EDI in stages. Begin small, test, then expand. The biggest learning is not rush for the setup, because even small mismatches, it can cost the order or invoices or shipping notes rejections. What is the overall uptake of EDI across the healthcare field? And are there other technologies better suited for small operators? Love this question. So most of the major healthcare providers and the suppliers are now connected through EDI. Correct me if I was wrong, Michelle. Driven by the need of accuracy, compliances, and faster visibility. So for small operators, EDI now, this day is much more accessible than it used to be. And some use web portals, procurement platforms, but EDI still remains the most standardized and reliable technology. And talking about the web portals, from supplier side point of view, you still will do the manual download the purchase order, then you go back to your system. It's more benefit for the buyers. So it depends which position you are. Then we'll see, we can discuss after the webinar and what's the best solution that suits you. Last one, what were the hurdles to success? How did industry adapt to change? I think Michelle covered a lot about that question. So the main challenge is data consistency. Different healthcare providers and suppliers often use their own internal product codes and data structures, which made data alignment difficult. So this is the homework before when we really roll out the EDI and make EDI go live. Make sure between your system and your partner, trading partner, EDI partner system, all the products, the codes or SKU, they align to each other. But through GS1 standards like the MPC, GTN, and GLIN, and the industry is creating a common language that enable smoother transactions. So this is the way to go. Cool. I haven't got a chance to look at the Q&A panel. Katerina, not sure.
There are no questions.
All right. So we have 3 minutes. And I have still have a lot of questions that I received during the registration. And of the questions that relate to GS1, I will pick some of them that, or Michelle or Margot, would be great. You can cover that. So one of the question is how to use EDI to process our orders on GS1 platform.
So as I'm not quite sure what is meant with the GS1 platform, but obviously GS1 standards can be used in processing EDI. One of the things that has come up in this webinar is obviously data accuracy, and so understanding and making sure that you're speaking the same language with manufacturers and suppliers is key, and making sure that you have the right references. And obviously the global trade identification number, or GTIN, would be one of the key elements in this. It allows and it helps to identify what type of product you're ordering, what product level you're ordering from, and how many items and so on. So that would be one of the key areas, I would say, as well. Identification of the organization that you sent your purchase order to, or you receive your purchase order response from. So use of global location numbers, or GLNs, and other GS1 standards would be advisable for that.
Time flies. We're almost toward the end of the webinar, and I actually have another 15 questions on the list. But I'm more than happy to go back one by one for the question you raised and discuss what you are interested in, how we can help. And also Michelle and GS1 teams more than happy to answer the question that you've addressed, and I will get back to them, get the answer, and get back to everyone for the question you have been raised. Again, thank you everyone's time for this webinar. It's really good to see a lot of interest in that topic. And from Michelle's feedback, it's really a lot of new regulations coming the way. So let's work together and make it happen. Also, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.